Hello, everyone, and welcome to Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. I'm your host, retired NYPD Sergeant Bill Cannon, a 27-year veteran of the NYPD. It's been over 2 weeks since the body of Sunshine Stewart was found near the island near Crawford Pond, And the state police, the Maine State Police, have been largely closed-mouthed in regards to this case, not telling us really anything. And there's many good reasons for that. They don't want to disclose what they have. If they have suspects, they don't want to disclose any of the evidence in case they do get a suspect that they need to interview and interrogate. But that doesn't do much for the community that is really terrified of this person out there that killed Sunshine Stewart. And in this really paradise of a pond, this young woman who's from this area of Maine, how she could be murdered. And it just doesn't make much sense. And I spoke earlier on when I covered this case before, how we would look into the victimology, into her background, and what could there be reasons why this happened in her background? Or is this what many people fear, that this is a stranger case? Someone that just happened upon her by chance. Those are the scariest encounters for the public, to think that some stranger just came into their community and murdered this beautiful woman, Sunshine Stewart, a marine biologist, a boat captain, a contractor, and just a beautiful woman if you listen to all the people that talk about her. It's been almost 2 weeks now since Sunshine Stewart disappeared while paddleboarding in Maine, and there has been no arrest. In a brief statement issued Monday, Maine State Police spokesman said there are no updates to share about the case at this time. Detectives continue to actively investigate, follow up on all leads, and according to Public Information Officer Shannon Morse, tips continue to come in. And Ms. Morse did not say if investigators remained at the Micmac Cove campground where Stewart was staying before she went missing. Sunshine Stewart is 48 years old, of Tenants Harbor, Maine, and she was found on July 3rd on Crawford Pond in Union after she failed to return from a solo paddleboard trip the night before. Her manner of death was determined to be a homicide, but police have yet to say how she died. And police have asked that anyone who might have seen Stewart paddleboarding on July 2nd between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. near 100 Acre Island on Crawford Pond contact them. Stewart lived about a half hour from the pond, a popular summer destination about 15 miles from the scenic coastal areas of the state mid-coast region. The pond is approximately 600 acres and does not have public access outside of the campground. It is available for a variety of uses, including boating and fishing. The 100-acre island preserve in the center of the pond is a wooded island reachable by canoe, kayak, or paddleboard. The lake has numerous nooks and narrow areas, so it's possible there were other boaters on the water at the time of the killing who were unaware someone was in danger. Police have asked residents to remain aware of their surroundings and report suspicious behavior to a tip line. That is according to News 10 Boston. This is just a horrific case, and we've continued to follow it, but there hasn't been all that much updates on this case. So, folks, hold on to your hats, hold on to your loved ones, hold on to your theories, hold on to your thoughts. You're about to enter true crime from a police perspective. You're about to enter the off-the-cuff zone, the police off-the-cuff zone. There has to be some common sense.
They were the ones who called 911 to get him help, and now they're calling for change.
And now a word from our sponsor. BetOnline continues to be your number one source for all your sports betting action. And with baseball in full swing and football season around the corner, BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting. From Major League Baseball, UFC to tennis and NFL futures, BetOnline remains your choice for sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, folks, there has been just an update in regards to the state police putting out a statement, but no information that would really allay the fears of the community as to what happened to Sunshine Stewart. I'm going to play this little recording from Good Morning America.
This morning, new footage depicts Sunshine Stewart paddleboarding in her final days, just hours before her body was found under unusual circumstances near 100 Acre Island on Crawford Pond. And this morning, deliberate silence from Maine State Police investigating her murder. Investigators have ruled her death a homicide, but have not said how she died.
The reason we're limiting the release of specific details right now is because we're protecting the integrity of the investigation, the Maine Department of Public Safety said in a statement. When we speak to potential witnesses or suspects, it's critical that we hold back certain information that only the perpetrator would know. But the lack of information is unnerving to some in the community, like Stewart's friend Bethany Parmley, who spoke with our Portland, Maine affiliate WMTW.
The mood of the town and the community, it's shock, but also, just concern.
That newly emerged video shows Stewart teaching her friend Rachel Blumenberg's daughter how to paddleboard. Blumenberg told us she had been staying at Stewart's house and knew something was wrong when she didn't come home July 2nd.
We arrived home after dropping our friends off around 9 p.m. and the house was dark, like uncharacteristically so. And her dog was at home, who she loves tremendously. My daughter and I went to sleep somewhere around 10. And in the back of my mind, I was wondering why I hadn't heard from her.
Investigators are now scouring hours of video from the rustic campground where Stewart was last seen alive.
The authorities in Maine said our primary goal now is to find out who did this and make sure the case can be successfully prosecuted. And that may mean, guys, that the public is kept in the dark a while.
So, yes, the public being kept in the dark. And that is an uncomfortable feeling for anyone that lives in this area that may be looking over their shoulder thinking who may have done this. The other thing that hasn't been mentioned, and largely why the police keep the details secret, is that this could be more than one person. That has never been spoken about. So if you grab one, and perhaps this wasn't the person that was mostly involved in it, that would be the person that will confess against the other potential perpetrator. I'm not saying that this is a fact. I'm saying it's a possibility. And you have to keep all options open. One of the first things they said in this was that when they recovered her body, I believe it was on July 2nd at 12:30 a.m., they almost determined, or they did determine right on the scene, that this was a murder because of the way the body was positioned and where it was found. And the police didn't say anything about it being found in the water or on land or where exactly, or if did they ever say, did they find the paddleboard? That has never been reported. So all of these things keep everyone here in the dark. And all we know is that the body was found near the island, near an island, and we don't know anything else. So I spoke in depth on the last time I did a show on this about victimology. That's the study of the victim, the study of the background of Sunshine Stewart. Who are her friends? Who are her acquaintances? Did she have any problems going on in her life? Was anyone bothering her, stalking her? Business associates, was she having any problems? She's a contractor. Was she having any problems with any of her customers? All of those things. And one of the most important things, of course, is where they found the body and the evidence on the body, forensic evidence. What type of wounds were there on the body? Was this the cause of death, blunt trauma? Was it asphyxiation? Was it drowning? We don't know. Gunshot, knife wound, we don't know anything. And in these cases, it's always a great idea for the police to do a rape kit, even though you might not think that's called for, but that is one of the evidentiary things that collects evidence on this case. And they will absolutely do that. I'm going to play another little clip here.
Killer after the body of Sunshine Stewart was found near a campsite in Maine. State police say an autopsy was performed on the 48-year-old and that they consider her death a homicide, telling NBC News her body was found under unusual circumstances, but not releasing the cause of death. Last seen July 2nd, paddleboarding across this pond in the small town of Union. Police say Sunshine's body was discovered by investigators the next day. Close family friends stunned.
Honestly, she's like one of the best people I ever knew. Sorry. She was somebody who believed in everyone she ever met.
Kimberly Hamill has known Sunshine since grade school.
She was a biologist and she was also a carpenter. She owned her own construction business. She had this incredible life.
Police now appealing to anyone who may have seen Sunshine paddling last Wednesday between 6 and 9 p.m. to come forward. The campground adjacent to the pond tells NBC News state investigators have been there daily to access the crime scene. Police saying they've ruled out accidental death or drowning. In a statement, the police now urging the public to remain aware of their surroundings and report any suspicious behavior to law enforcement.
I grew up in Union, and as far as I know, nothing like that has ever happened there. And for it to have happened to Sunshine is like, how could that even be? It just makes it feel like nothing will be right again ever.
Erin McLaughlin, NBC News.
So again, that doesn't give us a lot of information, it doesn't give a lot of information to the community. Who are they looking for? Do they have a suspect? How was she killed? Are they on anyone's trail? Are there any suspects? Are there leads? They're not going to tell you that. The Maine State Police, who apparently investigate all of the homicides in the state of Maine, are tight-lipped here. And for very good reasons, for very good reasons. A remote area like this, could it be a stranger? Or as we said on the last show, it seems that it could be a person that was known to her. But that doesn't answer any of your questions or any of you folks out there that are wondering what the hell could have happened. The mystery on the lake, the Maine paddleboarder. Isn't that unbelievable how you're a human being and her name is Sunshine Stewart and she's murdered and she becomes the Maine paddleboarder. All of a sudden your name is not important. What's important now is that what you were doing, you were doing before you were murdered. Now you're a paddleboarder. You're not Sunshine Stewart. So the other thing we found out is that they are continuously canvassing. There is video at a lot of these campgrounds. And they'll be scouring, as well as people that have been around that may have taken videos with their cell phones. All of that is useful investigatory information. And in other investigations that has been so important, we all remember the Boston Marathon bombing, how the videos taken by the people in the crowd was so important to that investigation. And I'm not saying there was hundreds of people around here, but there were people coming in and out of these locations. And so it's part of the Maine State Police investigatory crew to look at all these possibilities, to check all of these things. And they'll be doing their due diligence as well as speaking to everyone, that the in-depth canvassing, going door to door, going around near the crime scene, searching, researching. Did they miss something on the scene? Or are they actually on to someone right now? We don't know. So we'll continue to follow this, and hopefully they'll come up with a lead and an arrest very soon.
Even the Union Fire Department are all down a private lane leading to the Micmac campground. We were told not to go down there because they were still investigating the homicide of 48-year-old Sunny Stewart of Tenants Harbor. Friends have launched a GoFundMe posting this photo of Sunny Stewart. The owner of the Micmac campground wouldn't confirm reports that Stewart was spending the summer here, but she did live in Tenants Harbor, a half-hour away. Police said Stewart went out on her paddleboard by herself on Wednesday, July 2nd, about 6 p.m. When she didn't return 6 hours later, someone called police to report her missing. The Knox County Sheriff's Office, the Union Fire Department, and game wardens all responding during the early morning hours of July 3rd and located Stewart's body. State police were called in. An autopsy confirming the manner of death, a homicide. Officials have not said how she was killed. The body was located near what is known as the 100-acre island, which sits in the middle of Crawford Pond. The only access is by boat. State police issuing this statement today. We understand the public's concern following the recent homicide in Union. We want to assure the public that this is a very active investigation. Detectives have been working nonstop since Sunshine Stewart was found deceased. As always, we urge residents to remain vigilant, be aware of their surroundings, and report any suspicious activity to law enforcement. Police are asking anyone who may have seen anything on Wednesday, July 2nd, between 6 and 9 p.m. to give them a call. Anything near the 100-acre island on Crawford Pond in Union. I'm Jim Keithley for Maine's Total Coverage.
So, just so heartbreaking. But look, I've worked homicides before, and look, the public always expects excellence from homicide investigators. They expect cases like these to be solved. They expect an arrest to occur. And I have no doubt in this case there will be an arrest, but time, when? You know, people want arrests and homicides yesterday. You know, they don't want to hear be patient because the community is afraid. The community is scared. And this beautiful woman, Sunshine Stewart, who seemed, you know, people just rave about her, about what a wonderful human being she was. And she's dead. And she's dead not from natural causes. She's dead from a murder in this beautiful lake area that you would not expect anything related to anything violent to occur in this area, in this location. But yet it did. It did occur. So it's something that we all have to be just patient about. And, you know, the tips, if you see something, say something, call the tip line. And every single tip that comes in, the Maine State Police must investigate it and must close out the tip. And so that's, again, people calling in, and people want to see an arrest made in their beloved friend and in this beloved woman, Sunshine Stewart's case.
This murder happened in an area where a lot of the residents there will tell you they don't even lock their doors. And now that sense of security completely upended after the murder of Sunny Stewart. This morning, residents in rural Maine on edge as the search for the killer of Sunshine Sunny Stewart intensifies. Stewart went paddleboarding last week on Crawford Pond, but she never returned. Police ruling her death a homicide, a source telling ABC News they still have no suspects.
Nobody knows anything. Nobody has a clue. And everybody's saying, you know, outside of our community and even the surrounding areas, they're all concerned too. They're scared.
State Representative Katrina Smith posting on Facebook, "Lock your doors, don't be alone in remote areas," adding, "I am not here to cause alarm, but I certainly don't want to be the one who didn't say this is a serious concern." Authorities not publicly releasing details of how Stewart died, a source saying her body was found under unusual circumstances near what's called 100-acre island in the middle of Crawford Pond, accessible only by boat. And now those who knew and loved Stewart mourning the 48-year-old carpenter.
She was just a really honest, hardworking, beautiful inside and out, just a strong woman who brought joy wherever she went. she would have put up a hell of a fight if someone attacked. If she had a chance, she fought like the devil.
And investigators have been told that Stewart only stayed at a campground nearby the pond for just a couple days in the 2 months just before her death. Investigators clearly just trying to piece together what happened here. Such a difficult time for this.
So, folks, that is all we have right now. You know, as we get new information on this case, we will surely bring it to you. But right now, the state police, if they're onto someone, they're not letting anyone know. They're being very tight-lipped. And we're hoping and we're praying that they bring this case to a closure with an arrest of whoever did this. So, folks, till the next time, until we get some new information on this case, I'm Bill Cannon from Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and God bless.
One episode, just say